Like I say too, also even the point in time when children would eventually discover sex or discover the want to have sex. I mean, as you get older, you start to feel things and start to want things. I mean, desire for for nice things, desire for this, desire for that. I mean, eventually you would probably it'd probably be best if you knew who your creator was. Like I said, I also did stuff like tampons and also other feminine things for women because otherwise they would just bleed, and they couldn't go out or work when they were bleeding. So because they would just drip blood basically. Anyway, so we started doing things for that, like a little like first thing was cotton or whatever to absorb the blood and stuff like that. And women and daughters would get upset, you know, and stuff like that, and even think that there was something wrong with them. And I had to train people to, and some people would even say "foul creature" or something like that. Like I mean, there was also it's like some other weird stuff with little girls, and of course my trained German people would go and protect these children because some people, I don't know, some people would think that there was something wrong with them or something like that, and my German soldiers would protect them and even be like, "Come here, little girl," and pick them up in their arms and take them to someplace safe where they wouldn't be accused of anything. Like I said, when you come into this world, you don't necessarily know what's going on. You don't really know who you are or what the universe is about. You see colors, you see shapes, you see this wonderful planet, and you don't know who you are or what's happened. You don't know anything about the past. You don't know about the past millions of years. You don't know who your creator is. You don't know who your leaders are. You don't know. You ask your parents. Maybe they know. They tell you something that they think is true. But you don't really know. You don't know over the last 100 trillion years. You don't know over the last 100 trillion years or even the last billion years what's going on. You don't know where your race has been. You don't know what's happened in the past. You don't know how black people initiated a race war with the white people. You don't know. You ask some older people. Maybe they know. You read a book. Maybe it knows. But you really don't know. And then all of a sudden you start bleeding. And you don't know what that's about either. You know, there's a lot of things that children don't know. And in 3 years, you can't have any comprehension of what's going on or what's even going on with your own body or why it's going on like that. So anyway, so we trained people. I paid for people to be trained and directed people to be trained to help these young people into this world and help them understand what's going on. So, like I said, I'm Lucifer, the Lucifer star, your God and protector, basically. Well, I don't like to use the word God, but creator, basically. And I've been your creator for the last 100 trillion years. I created the first humans, at least as far as I know. I mean, ask another planet. If you don't know, ask. There are other planets out there. They all have life on them. In fact, you could go in almost any direction to another star, even Mars, and you will probably and you should find life there. I believe there's 1.5 people, 1.5 tall people, or some sort of life form there. I think also on the other one. I'm not exactly sure. That one maybe not. Anyway, though, a lot of life forms use my planets. A lot of life forms use my galaxies. They grow up, they go to the stars, or go around, or do whatever. They learn how to do things. For billions of years, millions of years. Anyway, so it's the way it is. So anyway, so I was helping children and helping old people. Like I said, certain people wanted to kill the old people, so we had to take them to a special camp somewhere. We trucked them off to someplace, and also old people were getting sick. They were in a wet, dry, damp climate, and they were getting sick and dying. So we moved them to the desert. So we loaded them all up. We built them brand new buildings, and we moved them out to the desert because they were getting what's called problem because the air was too damp for them. They were getting getting health problems. So we moved them out to the desert for a little while where they could get better and they could dry out, basically. And and a lot of the problems went away with them. And then they moved back in as they wished. So, I mean, we've been moving people around this planet for like hundreds of thousands of years. Like I said, there was a big health problem in the wetter climates. So we loaded them all up. Come on, old people, let's go. And we moved them all out to the desert where they could dry up and feel better, which they did. And we imported food to them and stuff like that. Like I said, White Star Lines, my shipping and trading company. And I also had a wagon service as well. Used to say, I think it would say on the side, White Star Line, and they were wagons, and they would ship food on them. My White Star Line wagons. Lucifer White Star Lines, actually. So anyway, over the years, it kind of, it's diminished in size, and people don't really see them anymore because, it's a Titanic, I think it should have said Lucifer or White Star Lines on the side. Because of white paint and stuff. The white fleet, white cars, white trains, and we invented the white paint for it. So, because I wanted white. I wanted absolute white, not just black. Because the first paint was black or some brownish color. And then we got white paint finally. And then we got blue paint and red paint. I forget. It was yellow paint. I forget. First it was black paint, and then we got another color, and then another color. We got yellow, we got blue. Basically Renault, if you look at the Renault paint factory. Because I built the paint shop. The whole big paint shop. That's a hell of a paint shop. Yeah, I know. It was like a paint factory. You put ingredients on one side and you would get paint out the other side. And they also had dipping trays for dipping the cars. So the car bodies would be manufactured over or stamped in one place, and then they would go over to the other place and they'd be dipped in that place. And then they would be assembled right there. And that was how I built cars. So anyway, I had a huge amount of people. So we researched, we mined, we did lots of stuff together. People would go check on a box, send to death camp. And people would be loaded up. They weren't really going to a death camp, though. They'd be picked up and taken. Yeah, I did this whole sleight of hand thing with the world. Because I refused to kill people. So did my people, my nurses. And I trained the nurses and trained the doctors. So they just moved them off and then trucked them away. And basically, we had this whole business going, this whole thing. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I know. Anyway, it's confusing, I mean, you don't know about all the different thousands of histories. You look at the pictures, look at the stamps, look at the different things, and maybe go around poking in the dirt and might find some things, but you won't really know. So I make these records so people can know what's going on and know what it's all about. It's probably one of my houses. I have buildings all over the world. Some of my buildings have crumbled to dust, like over the years. They're made out of dirt or some sort of soft material. A lot of my buildings are made out of granite, though. Granite or some sort of other stuff. Like I said, I even had gold embedded rock. We took some rock or took some material, then we embedded gold in it, and then we pressed it together and heated it up, and then we put it out or something like that, or shined it up or something. We built this little gold room just because. I just wanted to do it. Anyway, somebody mined it. Somebody broke up the thing to get the gold out. I was like, I put that in there for... That's 5,000-year-old dirt. That's 5,000-year-old rock that was pressed. And do you know what it takes to do that? And they mined it. Built 5,000 years ago. 10,000 years ago. And they saw the gold and mined it. Crushed it up. Got the gold out. I was like, wow. I spent $1,000 silver dollars back in 1300 to get that gold embedded rock. Gold flake embedded rock. And somebody comes along, sees it, and then decides to mine it.